Okay, I'd just like you to say a few words to us about MAJU. Maybe you could just talk about what it stands for, maybe some of your aims and objectives, and how people can get involved if they want to. Is it, for example, just open to Malaysians? Can foreigners participate, and so on and so on?
Yeah, okay. MAJU, that stands for Malaysian Action for Justice and Unity. How and why I started this? Actually, the idea was born a couple of years back, even before GE14. As usual, I was invited to a talk, and talking about the normal issues. And then I met this guy. He's actually someone I've never met. I don't know who he is. He's not a regular face in the forums that I have always attended. He's actually a businessman, a Malay businessman. So he actually said, "Siti, let's go and have teh tarik." So as usual, being Malaysian, we go and teh tarik after the forum. So we talk about issues, and we discovered that we are like-minded, and actually that was his first forum that he attended. He never attended any before, So we talk about it, and this idea was born with him at the Mama about having an NGO that actually will work on the ideas of the so-called liberal ideas, which is actually not wrong and not bad, okay? So MAJU then, because see, this guy is the one with money. I have no money, right? So he is the one that actually fork out his money for us to start registering and all that. So we went all the way to Labuan. So Malaysian Action for Justice and Unity was born in Labuan as a foundation. And this guy actually, support for the setup and everything. But that was before GE14. We were, playing with the idea and all that. Then GE14. Wow! We were all like shocked. I think everyone felt the same. And then say, oh, then there's no need for us, then, to do this Malaysian Action for Justice and Unity, because what we had an idea before was to change, the mindset of the people, promoting, human rights to the public, and to promote civil liberties. So then we saw, okay lah, we are all right already. We have a new government, with good people and all that. And then we discover, after a few months, hey, hello, it's not working, man. This PH government also is not fulfilling, the things that we are, wanting. So we decided to go ahead to register. And that's when we registered, 2018. And finally, we got registered after going through a lot of rigmaroles they are very, very strict, the foundation. The Labuan Foundation, very strict, checking every background, things like that. We have to be very transparent with them. MAJU is checked every 6 months, our accounts and everything. So MAJU is based on the promotion of universal human rights, and as well as the promotion of civil liberties. If you want to know exactly how MAJU will work, look at ACLU in America, okay? ACLU is the kind of sort of model that we are looking at. It is something that we want to be like ACLU, but Malaysian version, yeah? So we are now having supporters to registers. We don't actually call them members, because if members, we have to do election, yeah, because we don't want that the idea of MAJU being sidetracked with infightings when during election, as you can see in many organizations. Once the leadership changed, then it's the idea of that movement changed as well according to the leadership. I mean, just look at the Malaysian Bar. The recent statement by the new president of the bar is completely different from the president's previous presidents that we had. Yeah. So this is the thing. So we don't want anyone to jeopardize the aims and the views of MAJU. MAJU has a specific aim, and once we reach that a certain milestone, then only we will actually maybe perhaps make it into members. But right now, what we need is people to join us as supporters. It's only 50 ringgit per year, and these costs are all transparent. You can, we are being audited every 6 months and checked by the Loved One Foundation every 6 months. So nothing, no money is going. Even I'm not paid. Actually, nobody is paid. There are only 5 council members, and we have 2 staff. Currently, we only pay 1 staff. The other staff is still being paid by our benefactor. So none of us are getting any salary or any money out of the foundation. It is all pure voluntary work because we are all passionate about the issues. We want a better Malaysia. We want a Malaysia, as I said, for justice and unity. And so we hope that by setting up this NGO, that people will join us in force, giving the support that we need in order to show to the powers that be that there are many Malaysians that actually want for a better country. And before anyone asks me this question, that what about the Malays, that may disagree with our ideas, we in MAJU do not see any Malaysian as race-based. We don't care if MAJU is filled up with non-Malays or whatever race. We don't care because you are Malaysians. Why are you talking about needing to please the majority Malays? You said you think all the Malays are actually liking what is going on in this country. I don't think so. I think a lot of Malays are purely wanting to live their life peacefully. To have bread and butter served on their table, to have enough money to send their children to school, to eat, all these things. We have been politicized, and they have actually mobilized so much fake news, thinking that all Malays are like them. So do not believe that. We shouldn't actually now have any kind of ideas. Oh, we must please the majority. No. We must please Malaysians. We are Malaysians, and that's what we are. Do not even think now that we are Malay, Chinese, or whatever. So we must actually start learning not to use this idea of race anymore in our political scene. Okay, so I hope I have gone, I explained. So yes, somebody already put up the website there. Please go to the website and register yourself, because we need to show strength and support to the cause. The more numbers we have, the more the power that we can say that, look, we have so many people, Malaysians here that want change. Why are you not listening to us? Okay, so please join us at mymaju.org. Okay, thank you very much.
Kind of a question stroke statement from Edmund. He feels democracy in Malaysia is a joke because the system is being destroyed or manipulated without any integrity. Do you agree with him that now cash is the only king?
Yeah. That's the simplest answer, to be honest. Yes, money now is being used a lot, to manipulate the situation. So this is why I said, always go back to the basic again. Go back to the basic. Whatever problems you are having now, because we have rubbish people in parliament. We have, people who will not speak up. Because for fear of upsetting the leadership, they are warlords. This is why I said political parties don't work in Malaysia. They don't have a mind of their own. They will vote according to what their warlord will say. Oh, vote Anwar. Everybody vote Anwar. Oh, Botun Mahathir, Botun Mahathir. So, you know, they don't even try to step out and say, no, I'm sorry, I don't agree on both. Why can't they do that? You know, they know we must show collective, again, this word, collective responsibility, so-called. Well, what about the people? You know, what about us? You know, nobody cares about us. What about our opinion? It's not about your party opinion. It's about the rakyat opinion. So, you know, this is the thing. I just say that exactly what Edmund was saying. I agree. Democracy, you know, is a joke in Malaysia. You know, they manipulated and they use us, you know, just because they can. So we must make the change. We can't wait for the politicians to make the change. We have to make the change. So be brave about it and don't be afraid to actually make the change. Yeah.
Thank you. Question from Sharifa. Her question is about the growing minority, in quotes she puts, of people speaking badly against the Rohingya refugees recently, and that particularly amongst social media, and there's a lot of hatred that's starting to solidify and so on. And she says, do you think there's a correlation between being in the majority and hatred, for example?
Yes, about the issue of Rohingya, yeah. A lot of people have been misinformed about refugees in this country. So that's why, you know, being patriotic, a lot of them feel that we have to help our own people first. They say, you know, this is why they feel that, you know, there's no need to help the refugees because, you know, there are many our own people who are poor, you know, and living marginalized. I understand that perfectly, but it's all from misinformation. A lot of people see this video, purportedly some Rohingya boys claiming this and that, one IC and all that. Now, see, this is the thing about information. When you want to make an opinion about something, you know, make sure that you have the full information about what are the things that have been accorded to the refugees in this country. Now, let me tell you frankly that the refugees currently in Malaysia do not get money help from our government, do not get free healthcare from our government. The only time they use the taxpayers' money is when they were being arrested for so-called not having the UN card, and then taken to like the camp, like in Lenggeng and all that. That is the only time our taxpayers' money being used, because they are being fed there and kept there for months and months. Now, the refugees in this country are not allowed to work, you know. And again, I will go to my basic sort of advocacy, is because I don't see these people as refugees or, you know, whatever. I see these people as human beings. They are in need of help. Help doesn't mean that money to be given, you know. If you don't allow these people to work, how are they going to feed their family? How are they going to pay for the cost of the hospitals? And this is the thing. You don't allow them to work, and yet, you know, you don't allow them to have free healthcare. So what do you expect? And this is why people say they live in slums. It's because they have to save the money, whatever little money they make, in order to live. You know, like in one house, they may be sharing with 10 families. You know, it's really sad. Don't look down on people until you are wearing their shoes. You know, you must walk their journey. Then only you understand that what they are going through. So this is the thing about misconception, misunderstanding of information. So in this day and age of the internet, a lot of rubbish going on in the internet. Yeah. So I would suggest that do not actually rely too much the information from the internet, because information can be manipulated. For example, I unless you are on the ground with these people, you know, then you can make a judgment. You know what is going on. You know exactly what help or no help being given to the refugees. Then only I think you can make your own assumption. Until and unless you really know about them, then don't make judgment, because I always say that you never know when you will be in their shoes. You know, I mean, if the Western countries, for example, when I went first time in England, your hometown, Andy, yeah, you know, I must thank the English for actually allowing me to be who I am today. You know, because through the taxpayers of the English people helped me. Also, I pay tax when I was there, but they also helped me to study law, because I don't have to pay the fees, you know, as a foreign student, because I have been a permanent resident there for many years. So when I first got there, I get free healthcare, even though I am not English. You know, I only have to register at the GP there, and then I can go for, and I get free healthcare, absolutely like a private hospital. That's why the English, a lot of English don't appreciate NHS. But I say that thank God for NHS. You know, I was able to survive. You know, because of the taxpayers' money of the English people, helping people like me. You know, my ex-husband, he only got allowance of £300 per month. How to survive with that? Cannot survive. You know, so they are practical people. They allow me as a spouse to work. So this is why I said that they go on humanitarian, you know, reason, not because I am you know, I'm Christian, not because I am English, but because I'm a human being. You know, I even get free milk in the morning when my baby was small. You know, and this is the things that we can emulate. You know, why not? The good things we can take. You know, you don't have to follow everything that you don't like. But there are many good things in the Western countries that I appreciate until now. You know, the way they run their country. So I really think that actually I forgot your question already.
I think you've done very well in answering. Let's see if we can try and squeeze in two more. This, I hope, is a short answer, and a few people have asked it, but Ching Lee was the first to ask it. When the Prime Minister resigned, why didn't the Deputy Prime Minister take over? Do you have any ideas?
Oh, God knows. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, this is beyond me, to be honest. There's so many things which actually are ridiculous. You know, what has happened and what is happening is like something I even, you know, what you say, penat lah. You know, like I want to talk about it. It's like, that's why I said, you know, let them do whatever they want lah. One day parliament ka, no parliament ka, whatever. We as the voter focus on GE15. You know, no point talking until, you know, the cows come home. We were never able to resolve this because they are in control, they are in power. You know, unless you want to do a revolution, which I don't advocate for. You know, just use our power in GE15, okay, to vote for the right person. That's the only answer. Don't waste our time talking about what if, what that, you know, because it's a waste of time. And we are never going to get there because they are in power. They hold the strings. They hold the strings right now.
Time is just about up now, Siti. I will just make one comment now from the questions. A few people have been calling for a woman Prime Minister to be part of Malaysia. and your name is well up there in the list. So maybe that will be something that you can consider for future.
Well, New Zealand has a woman prime minister, and she's doing extremely well. Okay, so there is no limit, because our constitution did not say woman or man, right? Our constitution did not say any kind of race as well, as long you're Malaysian. So why not? You know, perhaps we need a change. Perhaps we need a change for a better Malaysia. We need a woman to run it, because all these men, they have really screwed our country. You know, they are all thinking about once they become the politician and they are in there, they have more wives, they have bigger cars, you know, and that's what they do. Well, not all of them lah, but so, but why not? I think we should try a woman prime minister this time. You know, despite whatever people think, I think a lot of people have no qualms about the power of a woman. So I don't think I am suitable, to be honest. Okay, I mean, I am. If I become the prime minister, I mampus semua ministers, memang kena bedal hari-hari.
Siti, it's been a pleasure hosting you. I am delighted that you were able to make it. Thank you for sharing your ideas. I know that you feel that even if you are able to help one person to empower themselves, that to you is a good thing. From all the comments, I believe you've helped an awful lot of people in this session. I hope that you and I can maybe do this again sometime, maybe on a different platform. We could try one of the Facebooks or something else. But for now, I know there are outstanding questions. If anybody wants to ask something that we haven't had time to answer, I've put our email in the chat. Please email your questions. I will forward them to Siti and make sure that they get answered.
Thank you very much. I hope
fabulous. Thank you ever so much. And thank you all the participants for staying. And yeah, sorry that we couldn't answer all your questions, but it was just 2 hours. We will host something similar again. Thank you, Siti. I'll be in touch soon. Thank you
very much. Bye.